Welcome to Miss Luls Economics, where we make economics simple, clear, and exam ready. Let's learn, understand, and succeed together. Hey everyone, today we're discussing reasons for international trade. Countries trade because they cannot satisfy all their needs on their own. Trade allows countries to access goods and resources. Let's break it down step by step. Here is your essay question. Discuss in detail reasons for international trade. You must explain both demand and supply reasons. Use clear examples. Structure is key. The introduction is 2 marks. The main part is 26 marks where you explain demand and supply reasons. The additional part is 10 marks, but we will cover it in a separate video. The conclusion is 2 marks. Let's start with the introduction. This explains why countries trade in the first place. Countries trade because they do not have enough resources to satisfy their needs. By producing what they can efficiently, they create surplus is traded for what they lack. Trade allows countries to meet their needs and wants. Let's look at the demand reasons for international trade. These focus on why consumers want foreign goods. To remember demand reasons, use this mnemonic. People in Witbank prefer coffee and cookies. Each word represents a reason. Let's break them down. People stands for population. As population increases, demand for goods increases. Local producers may not meet this demand. Imports are needed to fill the gap. Population refers to the number of people in a country. As population increases, the demand for goods and services increases. More people means more needs must be satisfied. For example, if South Africa's population grows rapidly, demand for food and clothing increases. Local supply may be insufficient. Imports are used to fill the gap, increasing international trade. As population grows, income also plays a role. Let's look at income levels. When income levels increase, people demand more goods, including imports. Higher income increases purchasing power. For example, consumers may buy international brands online or travel abroad to shop. Income level refers to how much money people earn. When income increases, people can afford more goods and services. This includes imported goods. Higher income leads to higher demand for foreign products. For example, a consumer earning a higher salary may choose to buy imported electronics or branded clothing. This increases demand for foreign goods. As income rises, international trade increases. The income is not everything. Wealth also influences demand. Let's explore this. The W in Witbank represents wealth. As wealth increases, people demand more goods, especially luxury imports. Access to credit also increases spending. This drives international trade. Wealth refers to the total value of assets people own. As wealth increases, people have more financial security. This allows them to spend more on goods, especially luxury imports. For example, wealthy individuals may import luxury cars, furniture, or designer goods. These are often not produced locally. This increases demand for international trade. Look at my outfit. I have a wealthy husband. Even with the same income or wealth, people make different choices. This brings us to consumer preferences. Now let's look at preferences. What people choose to buy matters. Consumer preferences differ. People may prefer foreign goods over local ones. For example, a consumer may choose a Lamborghini from Italy instead of a local car. This creates demand for imports. Preferences link closely to how people spend their income. Let's look at consumption patterns. Consumption patterns refer to how people spend their income. In lower income countries, spending is mainly on basic goods. In higher income countries, spending includes luxury imports. This creates demand for international trade. For example, developing countries focus on food and basic needs. Developed countries spend more on imported luxury goods like electronics and travel. This increases global trade. We still have and cookies left. These represent absolute and comparative advantage. Let's continue. The letter A in and represents absolute advantage. This is when a country can produce a good more efficiently than another. it can produce more output at a lower cost. This creates a reason to specialize in trade. Absolute advantage occurs when a country can produce a good more efficiently than another country. This means it produces more output using the same resources. It can also produce at a lower cost. For example, a country with advanced farming technology can produce wheat faster and cheaper. Other countries will import from it instead of producing their own. This increases international trade. And even if a country is better at everything, trade can still happen. This is where comparative advantage comes in. Cookies represents comparative advantage. This is when a country produces a good at a lower opportunity cost. Countries specialize and trade to benefit each other. This increases efficiency and total output. Comparative advantage occurs when a country produces a good at a lower opportunity cost. This means it gives up less of one good to produce another. It focuses on relative efficiency. For example, one country may be better at producing both cars and clothing, but it specializes in the one it sacrifices less to produce. Countries then trade and both benefit. This increases global efficiency and trade. To remember supply reasons, use this mnemonic. Rich countries like to send chocolates. Each word represents a factor that influences production and trade. Let's explain each one clearly. Natural resources are unevenly distributed across the world. Each country has different resources available. This affects what they can produce efficiently. For example, oil-rich countries export oil to countries that do not have it. Countries without certain resources must import them. This creates international trade. Resources matter, but production also depends on climate. Let's look at how weather conditions influence trade. Climatic conditions differ between countries. Some goods can only be produced in certain climates. This limits what countries can produce. For example, coffee is produced in countries with suitable climates like Brazil. Countries without these conditions must import coffee. This increases international trade. Even with the right climate, production still depends on people. Let's explore how labor affects trade. Labor resources refer to the skills, productivity, and cost of workers. These differ from country to country. This affects production efficiency. For example, countries with highly skilled workers can produce advanced goods like electronics. Other countries import these goods. This creates trade. Skilled workers are important, but technology can take production even further. Let's see how. Technology refers to the use of machinery and equipment in production. Countries with advanced technology can produce goods faster and at lower cost. For example, technologically advanced countries export electronics and machinery. Other countries import these goods because they cannot produce them efficiently. With better technology, countries can focus on what they do best. This leads to specialization. Specialization occurs when a country focuses on producing a small range of goods. This improves efficiency and productivity. For example, South Africa specializes in mining and exports minerals. Countries produce surplus goods and trade them. This increases international trade. To specialize effectively, countries need the right equipment. Let's look at the role of capital. Capital refers to machinery, equipment, and infrastructure. Some countries cannot afford these resources. For example, developing countries import machinery from developed countries. This creates international trade. These supply factors explain why countries produce differently. Together, they create opportunities for international trade. We've covered all the reasons for international trade. This recap will help you remember everything clearly for your exams. You've seen all the demand reasons. Now let's make them easy to remember using a simple mnemonic. A growing population increases demand for goods and services. When local producers cannot keep up, countries import more to satisfy needs. When income levels rise, people demand more goods, especially imports. Higher income leads to higher spending and increased international trade. Increased wealth allows people to spend more, especially on luxury goods. Many of these goods are imported, increasing trade. Consumer preferences and tastes influence demand for foreign goods. People may prefer imported products because of quality, brand, or status. This increases international trade. Different countries have different consumption patterns. Developed countries demand more imported luxury goods, increasing international trade. When a country produces goods more efficiently than others, it exports them. Other countries import instead of producing at higher cost. Countries specialize in goods they produce at lower opportunity cost. They trade to gain more benefits and improve efficiency. Great! Now let's do the same for the supply reasons to make them just as easy to remember. Natural resources are unevenly distributed. Countries export what they have and import what they lack. Climate affects what countries can produce. Goods that cannot be produced locally must be imported. Differences in labor skills and cost affect production. Countries with skilled labor export more complex goods. Technology increases efficiency and lowers costs. Countries with advanced technology export more goods. Specialization improves efficiency and productivity. Countries produce surplus goods and trade them. Countries with limited capital cannot produce efficiently. They import machinery and goods from developed countries. In this lesson, we explored the demand and supply reasons for international trade. These factors explain why countries depend on each other. Understanding this helps you master global economics. Keep practicing these concepts and use the mnemonics to remember them easily. The more you understand, the more confident you'll be in your exams. You've got this. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on notifications so you never miss a lesson. Check out our full playlist for more economics content. Goodbye, see you next time, and God bless.